Hello lovelies, it's Ice Crystal Quilly back with another autism video. And I have the long hair back. Definitely needs the brush for sure. But today for this autism video for Autism Month, I wanted to talk about something that I've never really thought I'd make a video on, but it is one of those things that I personally think needs to be addressed. Now, back in February, it was like mid-February, I was scrolling around Facebook when all of a sudden one of my Facebook friends, I think it was one of my best friends, I forget, but they shared an article that says court rules school can use electric shock as punishment for special needs students. And when I saw that cover, boy, I was livid. Like, I was in shock. And the worst thing about it is that it's in the state I'm in right now, where I live. And so, I'm guessing this was the start, but what happened was family court judge, not going to say her name for now because reasons, denied a motion to stop the use of electric shock on disabled students, a form of punishment that has been controversial for years after news of the practice first reached to the public in 2013, where a video surfaced of an 18-year-old student receiving dozens of shocks for refusing to take off his jacket. That I just find dumb. That first thing though, why would you shock a special needs kid who doesn't want to take off his jacket? Something as simple and something that's not even a problem. They don't want to take off the jacket, they don't want to take off the jacket. Leave it at that. I mean, I doubt it was a hot day out, but he wanted the jacket on, he wanted the jacket on. Some kids are like that. Then the state failed to demonstrate that there was now a professional conscience, I think, consensuous, I can't read, that the level 3 arrestive treatment used at JRC does not conform to the accepted standards of care for treating individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Why? I just find that so dumb that they think electric shock is okay to use on a student. I don't know if this is still happening, but it did say that happened in 2013, so it did happen. But is it still happening? Well, there was a case, there was something that happened, and there was a school, and records show that at least 58 students at this school, at a school in Canton, received shocks in August of 2017. That was like over a year ago. Ridiculous, isn't it? Now, something similar happened in like the 1980s, 1990s and stuff, but it shouldn't be used today. Like, there are kids that are like me, they're high functioning, or they're somewhere near there, but not quite, but they're not so much in the middle, like they're more towards it. And then there's those who's in the lower range, obviously. But when I saw this article and I was reading through it, I just thought it was so dumb by the fact that that happened, that something like that could actually be happening to this day. And it just blew my mind, and they use it as a punishment for even the littlest things. Like, Someone said that electric shock was used on students for the smallest infractions. Even something as small as standing up or speaking without permission. Eventually, I'm guessing this was a guy, he began to observe the students. They observed that the students were horrified of the shocks and they were rarely aggressive enough to require such painful punishment. See, they were scared of it. Who wouldn't be scared of a shock? And I don't know how they do the shocks though. I don't know if they just do a finger or they like actually go. I don't know. I didn't see how they did it. But it's so wrong. Like, well, it also says here the use of shock therapy has been proven to be ineffective and it is not used very often because other treatments work much better. No shit. Of course other treatments work better. Honestly, if a student literally just stands up without any permission, simply say, please sit back down. Or have somebody, like, tell them to sit down or whatever it is. If they don't, let them just take a walk or something. If they speak without permission, that's another minor thing. But I think it's so freaking dumb that these special needs students, especially those who are mentally retarded, I hate using that word, but my fellow people, but for those who are on the lower spectrum, get it. They get shocked, and then they're afraid to go to school. Or they're just afraid in general. I don't know. If they're afraid to go to school, that's bad on their reputation. And honestly, I'm surprised that the parents haven't done anything. Like, when I was reading this article, I didn't hear anything about, parents getting involved. And I feel like that even if they did, I mean, they'd probably change something. I hope they would. Though at the end of the article, it says the things that have taken place at JRC, it's a center place, have permitted calls from the FDA to ban the use of electric shock as a punishment for students, but the FDA has ignored the issue and even had protesters arrested for attempting to raise awareness about the issue outside their headquarters. Well then, at least they banned electric shock on the students. That's good. But at the same time, I feel like protesters shouldn't have gotten arrested. I think that's a bit too far. It's like arresting somebody who's protesting for a grocery store or something like that because they don't like what's going on. It's like that to me personally. That's how I can explain it. Sorry. And I mean, at least there were people that were standing up to this cause. And I find that very good. They're standing up. They're saying their voice. They're speaking out. They're raising awareness. But shock therapy is not the way to go. I mean, yes, they had the electric chair way back when as a death sentence. Now, shock therapy in the days, I don't know. But it shouldn't be used on kids or anybody in general, especially who is autistic or has a special need in any way. If they have Down syndrome, if they have Asperger's, if they have anything else, no, it shouldn't be used on them. It makes me so glad that I didn't have that in school. Because when I was younger, there were a couple kids that were pretty bad, but I've seen them highly improve. One of them was nonverbal, and sometimes he might get a little rough, and he would get his arms tightened up like this by the teacher. And honestly, sometimes that would scare me. Other times, there was this kid who had a sensitive to loud noises, would try to cover his ears during the announcements, and she would try to pull them away. And that's not right. See, like, I feel like if shock therapy was at my school when I was younger, it would have been on almost everybody but me. And I'm not saying that because, I want to be like the drama queen and all that, like, be selfish or whatever, which I'm not trying to be. But I was one of those kids, probably the only kid, that didn't cause that much trouble. But that's not their faults that they do what they did. And I've seen my friend who was nonverbal at first go from verbal over the years. My other friend who covered his ears when he was younger, I don't know if he still does that now. I don't remember if he did it. I didn't see him do it. So he might be better at that. I don't know. But hurting a special needs kid makes things so much worse. It could make things so much worse on them, the parents, and everybody else in the school. And that issue was put out in 2018. That was last year. So, I mean, it sounds like things have changed. And I hope they've changed. Because they should. Because nobody deserves to get hurt in this world. Especially if you have a disability. Because it's just wrong to get hurt like that. Nobody deserves to get treated like that. And I don't know. I hope that you guys like this video. Please comment your thoughts down below, or if you have any suggestions, please hit the like button and hit the red shiny subscribe button for more of this crazy content. I'll see you lovelies in the next video. Good night.